So here it is, the Orbea Rise. I am super excited about this bike. I think there's been, lightweight bikes around for a couple of years. The thing with this bike is, yes, it's lightweight. We'll find out exactly the weight. We'll stick it in the park tool stand and we'll weigh it. But it's built around like fairly modern trail geometry, burly components, and look, it's got the Fox factory 36 on the front, the DPX2 shock, decent build, decent tyres out the box. So it's a bike that is like very ready to hit the trails and absolutely rip on. I think that this is the type of lightweight bike that is built for some serious use. And the other great thing is, it's got the Shimano EP8 motor that Orbea have specifically tuned for this Rise platform. They call it the EP8 RS with 60 Newton meters of torque. So we'll get it in the stand, we'll weigh it, we'll go and have a little rip around on my local trails and we'll have a good look around the bike. 17.89 kilos. That is pretty impressive for a bike with a 360 watt hour battery, 29er front and rear, carbon, 60 Newton meter motor, Fox 36 factory fork, DPX2 shock, burly tyres, under 18 kilos. Pretty impressive. I quite like this. This is pretty cool. You can link your Garmin. So if you've got the Garmin cycling computer or a watch, because there's no display on here at all, it is like super discreet. You can see on the Garmin, I can see the mode that I'm in, the estimated range, the battery level as a percentage, which I'm all about the percentage, and the cadence you're in on your Garmin. So that's a pretty neat way of integrating a stealthy looking e-bike, but giving you the options to have data if you want it. First things first, super quiet. It's in boost at the moment. I'm only on a little kind of fire road track, so as expected, it's not really straining the motor. All I can hear is a faint whir, a faint kind of, you can hear it. It's not totally silent, but the Shimano EP8 is pretty certain the stealthiest sounding motor when you're actually going. Whoa! Whoa! Freaking flies! Whoa! It's so light and quick. It's a decent amount of power. I'm surprised with how pokey. That is a punchy little motor. Straight away, you can feel that it's a pokey motor. In boost. That pulls, man, that pulls. Honestly, it's sharp. It's so sharp and quick. It's nimble and light. It tips in super quick. And you just give it a little kind of kick on the pedals. I am using it in boost. This is only a first little quick look at the bike, but it's got a serious punch to it. Oh my God, it's so quick. Because of the weight and the geometry, it does feel like I don't ride regular, normal pedal bikes much anymore at all. I just find them a little bit boring, but this is like not boring because you've got that just punch, man. It's like a nitrous oxide fueled regular pedal bike. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, jeez! It's just like a little freaking pocket rocket. Ooh. It flies! It freaking flies! I know I keep going on about this motor, but I am very, very impressed with the amount of punch. I was expecting it to feel, you know, a little bit more than a super light, but it feels almost like a full fat, but you've got a bike that is 4 or 5 kilos lighter than what you might traditionally have. It's almost the power of a full fat. It's almost the power of like a 24, 25 kilo bike, but it's under 18 kilos. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's almost too powerful in boost, and I can see why they've limited it and cut off the 80 newton meters or 85 newton meters of the Shimano, because I think that would be too much. And I can't believe I'm saying that. Nothing to distract you other than that. It's a little bit plasticky, it's a little bit chunky. Hopefully Shimano can make something a bit better design than that, because it's the only thing really that gives it away that it's an e-bike. Everything else is super stealth. Okay, let's take a look around the bike in a little bit more detail. This is a custom paint from Orbea, from Mayo on Orbea, and you can choose loads of different options. I went for the like super stealth black with silver decals on the carbon frame. It's super stealthy, isn't it? Yeah, looks really nice, but we'll go around the bike, have a look around it. I'll show you all the parts, all the bits and pieces. Let me know what questions you have on this bike in the comments, because I am going to do a video on all of your questions, because this is quite unique, this bike. So any questions you've got, whether it's like the motor, the integration, the app, syncing with Garmin, anything like that, or if there's anything you want me to ask Orbea directly, like any of their product managers or designers, I'll ask them any of your questions that I can't answer. So pop those down below. Okay, let's have a look around the bike. Start right from the front. We've got a Race Face Next carbon wheel, 29er rims, carbon front and rear, and it's got the Maxxis Minion DHF 3C. It is only in the Exo compound. It would be nice to see an Exo Plus on there, but they're not massively different. The Exo Plus has got a bit more sidewall protection, so if you're riding anything looser, slate, rock, sharp stuff, that kind of thing, an Exo Plus would be the one to go for. But DHF's pretty decent. Fox 36 factory with the, this is a 2021 factory with a Grip 2 cartridge and the little air bleeder valves. And I've just set it up quickly for my weight and it's pretty decent. Just out the box, nice and plush. Carbon bars, race face, 35mm diameter, little Diddy, I think that's a 50mm stem. Shimano XTR brakes, beautiful little brakes, nice stubby little lever, and Shimano XT shifter. And just on the other side you've got the Shimano E7000 little control, nice and neat and discreet. It's got the little Shimano EN100 junction box there that allows them to remove the display completely. It's a little bit, yeah, I think they could do something a little bit better with that. It's a little bit clunky, a little bit plasticky, but it removes the display completely. That being said, you can now spec the Rise with the little Shimano display. So if you prefer to get rid of that, you can have a diddy little Shimano display, which is pretty neat. You got the choice then. If you customize it, get rid of that, have the display, or have that and no display for the real clean look. Carbon frame, look at that. That just pops, doesn't it? You can see the light hit it. It's a raw carbon. It's got a lacquer over the top, so it's like a raw finish, but just a lacquer over the top, so you can see some of the carbon layup inside. It's so sweet. And the Orbea logo in like a silver, mirror silver under there. It's such a nice looking frame. Moving out a little bit, you've got the DPX2 shock with a little piggyback reservoir. And doesn't that Kashima coating on the fork, shock and the seat post just have a nice contrast with this black, this raw black carbon? Looks so nice. And then you can just see the angular look of the frame. It's got a real distinctive kind of dropped top tube with this little kink down there, and it just kind of angles straight back up. And then the linkage down here, it's got a concentric pivot just in here. It's got a pivot in here and a linkage driven shock. This bottle holder here also doubles up as a battery holder. So I've got a spare battery, a range extender that Orbea custom made for the bike, and that plugs in just to the charging port, which I'll show you on the other side. And then the EPA RS motor is neatly tucked under there. If you look how small that is, is super small. And actually, let's just remove these back, because the whole bottom unit of here, what I like about the Shimano EP8 is it's a very small compact motor unit. So Shimano have done a great job making it small and light, and some e-bikes are looking quite bulbous down here, but the EP8 and specifically this bike looks really small. Like if I just take a step back here, and the proportions are beautiful, it's really in proportion. Oh, it looks so nice, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, EP8 RS motor, E13 crank and E13 chainring, and I've just got my Hope flat pedals on there. A lot of people ask me what these pedals are. They're Hope flats. They're really nice because they've got loads of pins in and they're super grippy. Moving back, Shimano XT and Shimano and SLX cassette, and at the back we've got the Maxxis Minion DHR2 in a 2.4 with EXO again, and the front, by the way, is in 2.5 width. On the rear we've got the Shimano XTR Galfa 180 on the rear, and then if we just move around here, this is where it charges. It's a nice neat little kind of door on there, looks pretty well sealed, and the charger just go in there. Oh yeah, that's a real positive kind of seal that you've got on there. It's actually it's pretty nice to see that there's no flimsy rubber on there. It's a real positive close. That's decent. And if you're running the range extender, it will sit in there, and you have a cable to power it, and it will plug in there. Fox transfer, dropper, and again 180 rotor on the front. Would be nice to see 200s stock, or for you to be able to choose them. 180, there's not going to be a huge amount of difference in weight, really, I don't think, from a 180 to a 200 if you've got the same brand, but 180 is fine for trail riding, but if you're pushing it a little bit harder, you're going to want something a little bit burlier, a little bit bigger than that. So there you go, quick look around the bike. Let me know any questions or anything you want to know down below. I'm going to bring out loads of content with this, so subscribe if you're interested in it, and I will catch up with you all soon.